कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणस्पत आनः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामभित्रयवतु गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम।
Sairam. The following video contains sequences of flashing lights which may affect individuals who are susceptible to photosensitive epilepsy or other photosensitivity conditions. Viewer discretion is advised. I repeat, this video contains sequences of flashing lights which may affect individuals who are susceptible to photosensitive epilepsy or other photosensitivity conditions. Viewer discretion is advised. Over to the IPT.
The all-pervasive Brahman permeates the entire universe of animate and inanimate objects. This all-inclusive Brahman has assumed the audible form of the Primordial. O Divinity, our cosmic lighthouse, born of your cosmic lullaby, is a child named Dr. Vishal Rao, an oncologist of repute. With your grace, he becomes the conduit of your divine energy, channeling it not merely into earthly realm of physical healing, but into a celestial balm that soothes the mind, body, and spirit of those suffering. Guided by the mission to serve humanity and inspired by the sacred frequency of Om, Dr. Rao birthed the device Om, the voice prosthesis. This speaking device stands as a symbol of hope for throat cancer sufferers across the planet. His dedication to service transcends earthly bounds, speaking a language of compassion that is understood by all human beings across this planet Earth. We, the celestial beings, extend our thoughts and energies to Dr. Rao, blessing him in his cosmic journey, fueled by your divine guidance. In the immortal words of the cosmic Om, we stand united, bounded by a divine resonance that transcends time, space, and dimension. Together, we journey onwards, led by the divine luminary, reflecting His eternal light, His eternal love, His eternal song. The primordial call of the divine.
Om Shri Sairam, offering my humble pranams at the divine lotus feet of our beloved Bhagwan, and a loving Sairam to one and all present here today.
You're muted again, Prashant. Please unmute.
I think it's happening at the back end.
Right.
I'll just restart again.
All right. No issues.
Om Shri Sairam, offering my humble pranams at the divine lotus feet of our beloved Bhagwan, and a loving Sairam to one and all present here today. I am Prashant from the state of Delhi, a participant of the ongoing Sri Sathya Sai National Leadership Program for Self-Transformation, batch of 2023. Dear brothers and sisters, welcome to the 4th episode of Satsangatve Nissangatvam, the Satsang series of the Sri Sathya Sai National Leadership Program for Self-Transformation. Dr. Vishal Rao, having been born into a pious, God-loving family, was introduced to the love and benediction of Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba through his devout mother. He hence, as the country director, head neck surgical oncology and robotic surgery, and the dean for Center of Academic Research at Healthcare Global Cancer Center, Bangalore, India. With more than 100 national and international publications to his credit, he is also the recipient of various awards from state, national, and international bodies, such as the Kempegowda Award from the Karnataka government and the Judy Wilkinford Award for Global Tobacco Control from WHO partners. It is Dr. Vishal's avowed aim of serving humanity that has led to the invention of the AUM voice prosthesis, a speaking device costing merely $1 for throat cancer patients. This device is an innovation that has been considered among the top 100 global social innovations and has received wide recognition from prestigious establishments like BBC, Harvard Business Review, and Forbes. Dr. Rao is a member of Vision Group for Biotechnology in the Government of Karnataka and member, Consultative Group to Principal Scientific Advisor to the Prime Minister at the central level. A doctor who serves sensitively and scrupulously. A teacher empowering his students with skills and sensitization. A leader who inspires and incites in his team dedication and devotion. A Sevadan who works in the Sai mission towards both prevention and cure of the deadly cancer. Dr. Rao leaves no stone unturned in his efforts towards healing of the body, mind, and soul of his fellow beings. Join him as he talks about his ethereal journey with Om, the primordial call of the divine. Dr. U.S. Vishal Rao, sir, over to you.
Om Shri Sairam. Very humble pranam at the lotus feet of Bhagwan, and a hearty congratulations to the entire the Sai leadership team who have actually gathered here. I would like to especially place on record my humble pranams and thank you to Dr. Gopi, who has invited me here to, and also given this opportunity through Swami to speak. It's a very exciting time for me every time I have to speak on Swami. So thank you, sir, for this opportunity. My humble pranams to you. Dr. Shubda, thank you very much for all the coordination. And I would like to thank Mr. Krupa Menon for this lovely introduction, very kind introduction to you. All my Sai brother and sister friends who have joined me from all across, I don't know from which parts of the country, world we are all connected in. So I'm going to bore you for the next 1 hour. You know, they have told me to extend all my and this is a very unique opportunity for me to actually share with you, and actually, like I told you, technically bore you about my stories and about my work with Swami. So I'll begin with this presentation of mine. So I titled this Instruments in His Divine Mission. This actually is my journey, my story with Bhagwan, and a very humorous and a very loving one with Swami on the way he drove this entire mission for me. Are you all able to see the screen clearly? Okay.
Yes,
So,
Sathya.
thank you. So in the next few minutes, I'm going to share with you my small journey with Swami and my experiences with him over the last 2 decades in this small journey of oncology. I'll also place on record my thanks to my cousin Arjun, who actually took all these efforts to coordinate this and say that I should be here to share my experiences with all the audiences. I'm sure this is going to be an interactive session. I'll be happy to listen to all the other participants, their experiences, their comments, suggestions, queries, criticisms also accepted, all of it welcome. So, whenever we start something, we have a disclaimer. It's very important to disclaim something. And especially with Bhagwan, I feel it's a rule, more of a. So I was actually remembering one email I got some time back. Even when today, whenever we wish a happy new year, there is a disclaimer. So small things we do a disclaimer. So I thought it is important. This email I was quoting from 2013, but I thought it is a very nice before you say any thank you, goodbye, or even a happy new year, like a greeting today, disclaimer. Very big disclaimer comes, which is bigger than the greeting. So I thought this particular talk has to have a disclaimer from my side, And the overall intent of my disclaimer is that my entire journey with Swami, I have never physically interacted with him. That is what all of you all should know. See, I'm one among this generation of these 350 people who are participating here. I think majority of them may not have had the opportunity of physically being in his proximity or interacting with him personally. So I would say that you all are a part of my journey, because even I've not got that opportunity. I've never physically interacted with him. So that's something that I wanted to begin this disclaimer with, because oftentimes we feel a lot about physical proximity with Swami. Very, very important. I have yearned for it for 2 decades. I couldn't get some physical interactions and proximities. But my journey has been a very beautiful one, where every time he spoke to me through messages, he spoke to me through visions, and all my journey he guided me. And so this entire presentation of mine will be on stories about how he connected the dots with me without even understanding the entire spectrum of my removing that physical aspect of it for me. And that is what today's generation will also be yearning for, that we are not having his physical proximity, but definitely through this presentation, you'll see what I'm speaking to you about, of 2 decades of my experiences with Swami, which is without physical proximity. It is through his divine grace that he blessed me with several discussions, guidances, blessings, and all of the work that I do today is connected. I'm going to start this presentation with a very strange story of Dr. Stanley Wetzler. This couple here that is here with me, again, Dr. Stanley Wetzler and Janie Wetzler were in Pittsburgh at that time. I completed my training at Tata, and I was heading to Pittsburgh to spend some time and get training at the Pittsburgh University there. I was not having an accommodation. I did not have a place to stay. And I was looking at where could I be staying. And that's when I was connected through common friend with Dr. Stanley Wetzler, who was that time the director of the Brentwood Medical Center and a physician by himself and his wife. So I was giving a talk at California, at San Francisco, after which I was supposed to head to Pittsburgh. Now at Pittsburgh, I had not planned a stay. I did not have a place to stay, and My family was very worried. What am I doing? I'm an overall ill-prepared man, unplanned man. So I had not done much of preparation. So somebody had suggested to me to write to him, and Dr. Stan readily agreed to help me out. So I thought my work was done. So as imperfect as my plan is, I wrote to him, he agreed to help me, and he wrote back to me saying that he would assist me in his accommodation and helping me with some stay. So I was rest assured maybe something will be done. And there I was sitting in the San Francisco airport, and my family asking me, so where do you plan to stay? And I'm telling them, I think Dr. Stan has put up a plan. So once I land there, I will speak to him and then we will think about it. And they seemed quite perplexed. They said, what is wrong with you? How would you be able to land there? It's not like you're going in Bangalore, landing and going and checking into Woodland Hotel and settling yourself. When you're going there for a course, you have no plan on where you're going to be staying in. That sort of hit a panic note inside me. I was wondering, I said, am I something wrong? So I got a little scared. So I decided I will call Dr. Stan. So I made a call to Dr. Stan from the San Francisco airport. I still remember I was at the coffee shop making that call to him, perplexed, worried. And I asked Dr. Stan, I said, sir, please guide me and tell me where do I go after this? Once I land at Pittsburgh, where do I have to head to? He said, no, don't worry. He said, I'm coming to pick you up. I'll be taking care of all of this. So don't worry about all of that. All arrangements has been done. So that kind of gave a wave of reassurance to me to say that my journey is seeming to be insured and safe. So there I was, I got ready and I landed, and Dr. Stan had come to pick me up. I remember, the cap he's wearing. He had worn a similar cap which said, love all, serve all. And that was for me my first assurance in 2008. When 4 a.m. in the morning, when he came to pick up in the airport, which was very unlikely or unusual of a traditional Westerner who does not know me, to come and pick me up with so much of love and with that cap, love all, serve all. And I felt that was the first signal from Swami to me. And that unfolded a very interesting story to me. So Dr. Stan took me to his house, and he also spoke about very briefly some of his interactions with Swami and about how the Pittsburgh Sathya Sai committee has been working, and he told me when he got my email, he was very excited because he at that time had read some of my papers on angiogenesis, some aspects on cancer, and he said that there was a lot for both of us to discuss. So he handed over a thick file to me, a very thick file to me, and he said, Dr. Rao, please go through these reports. Me, like a typical oncologist, took the file in my hand and I started flipping the paper. I went through all of these reports and I looked at it. He had stage 4 cancer, which had spread to the liver and the lungs. And it was a very advanced cancer. He had completed his chemotherapy, and the university experts at Pittsburgh had told him that he may not have had more than 6 months to live, and it is better to move towards a palliative approach where he spends his time at home. So his entire journey in that 6 months was about, in that file, about what was he doing. So when I went through the entire report and I saw that world's best have reported, and I was talking to him, I said, I could talk to my colleagues experts on this area in this subsite, and I was telling him that maybe I'll be of some assistance, but I still couldn't fathom what additional use could I be of when the world's best have seen him and I've advised him all this. And he looked at me, smiled and said, Dr. Rao, you do not know how to read reports. Please read reports correctly. So I flipped through the pages. I told him, sir, I've read everything. I said, I know this is a bad outcome, and I know that there is very minimal time in this, and chemotherapy that you've tried hasn't worked. So I said, I really don't know what more can I offer at this juncture as an advice to you other than connecting you with a few more good people. He said, no, he said, the first important thing is you need to learn to read reports. You see, it was a little bit of an ego hurt to me. You see, I'm a well-read man. I'm quite an intelligent man. And I was feeling that he's repeatedly reiterating to me, read the report. And I've read the report. I know the PET. I've read the dosages of the drugs. I've looked at everything. So what was there to read in this report? I didn't understand. So I asked him in a very humble tone. I asked him, I said, Dr. Stan, I said, I'm not understanding your question. Can you tell me what is it that you want me to read? He said, Dr. Rao, you've not checked the dates. So I again flipped open and I had not checked the date, because you see, why should you check the date? So when I opened the reports and when I saw the last page, it was 10 years back. So he had outlived his cancer for more than that 6 months, which was given to me by that team of doctors and specialists. But it kind of gave me goosebumps. It was I was perplexed, because here I was talking to a doctor, not somebody who has tried something random and is talking something. He had all evidences before him. He was a physician. And my entire time in Pittsburgh, more than my time spent at the university learning, was actually my time spent with Dr. Stan learning. Every day he would give me a book to read. Every day he would teach me a philosophy. Every day he would spend time with me, talking to me about various approaches, all of which leads to one particular pathway that is for me. And about how his journey began when he was diagnosed with a terminal illness. Today, I must tell you, all of you, you can calculate. He's now 80 plus. I think he's 85, if I'm not wrong. He's around. Every time he comes to Bangalore, there is one cupboard dedicated in my house for him. We both go to the gym. It's been, I think, nearly 2 decades now, more than that. He runs at the speed of 9 for about 45 minutes non-stop. I run at the speed of 5 for 20 minutes non-stop. Feeling embarrassed, get down. And I still don't have an answer to this. And I keep looking at him and I wonder, when Swami touches somebody's life, I think it transforms it in a very different way. Between the mind, the soul, and the physical body, something re-energizes in this whole approach. So Dr. Stan and my journey of those few days was very, very interesting. Lot of learnings from Dr. Stan. I could actually have a full presentation on Dr. Stan, Dr. Shuddha, and Dr. Gopi. It's such a complex present, but I must tell you, I just wanted to put one slide. It's injustice to what Dr. Stan told me, but I still tell you, my family called me that evening on day one and asked me, I hope you have a place to stay. And I was in a jacuzzi. He had almost a 5-acre, I think a 5-acre ranch in which 3 houses were there, and one house of that was like a cathedral. So beautiful, so nice, inspiring. And I was sitting on a jacuzzi, and my family asking me, are you serious? This is, how do you know this person? How did you connect with him? Are you sure all is safe? They were a little perplexed on my approach to life. And suddenly a man who didn't have accommodation, who wanted a dormitory to stay, was sitting in a jacuzzi, sitting in some 5-star luxury facility, asking. And I asked Dr. Stan, I said, Dr. Stan, my hospital, which is the university, is far away. So he was staying at Bradford Woods, which was, I think, quite a few miles away. So he said, no, Vishal, I've made all arrangements for you. Every arranged for me every day by Dr. Stan. And every day I would remember sitting inside, I was trying to, inside the university, wait to go back to Dr. Stan. I was actually yearning to go back to him, to listen to him about what he has to talk about Swami, what he has to tell me about his learning experiences. So, my approach in oncology, my science of oncology, which is very good. I'm a well-read person, learned, written, but everything seemed to be growing smaller and smaller as I would look at him every time in front of me. And every time he would talk to me, every day our conversation would be, he would ask me some questions. I didn't have answers. He would give me a book and say, read this. And answers of this are here in this book. From the Vedic scriptures to the most advanced learnings in healing, he taught me. So,
Sairam, sir.
Yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt, sir. So we're getting messages requesting for you to speak in Hindi also, sir. Can you please speak in 2 languages?
Sorry.
We have Hindi speaking to
Sorry.
Sorry to disturb, sir.
Please.
Yeah.
No.
Sairam.
So, I had forgotten this instruction. My apologies. तो जब ये पूरा जर्नी शुरुआत हुआ था, जब मैं यूएसए पहुंच के मैं डॉक्टर स्टैन के साथ रहा, और डॉक्टर स्टैन ने अपने स्टेज 4 सी कैंसर के बारे में पूरा कहानी मुझे बताया. उस कहानी में मुझे ये लगा कि जब एक आदमी को 6 महीने दिया गया है और वो आदमी अभी 10 साल 20 साल के बाद अपना जिंदगी जी रहा है, उसमें कुछ अनोखा चीज हुआ था. देयर वाज समथिंग स्पेशल दैट हैपेंड इन हिज लाइफ व्हिच वाज बियॉन्ड माय एक्सप्लेनेशन. तो अभी मैं जो बताने वाला हूँ 1-2 पेशेंट के बारे में, ये सारा स्टोरी जो है डॉक्टर स्टैन से शुरुआत होता है, और मेरा ऑन्कोलॉजी का जो लर्निंग है, जो मेरा अध्ययन है, जो मेरा विद्या है, उसमें ये सारा चीज इज कनेक्टेड विद डॉक्टर स्टैन इन सम वे इन ऑन्कोलॉजी, बिकॉज he was my first teacher outside of the textbook, who Swami sent me to look at oncology in a different way. And I'm going to share more and more about this. But एक पेशेंट के बारे में बताना चाहूंगा। नवंबर 2015 में एक बहुत ही कॉम्प्लेक्स सा कैंसर, मुंह का कैंसर आया था मेरे पास सर्जरी के लिए। ये लेडी 68 ईयर ओल्ड थी, एंड मैडम का सर्जरी काफी बीमारी काफी बड़ा था चेहरे के ऊपर, तो उसको पूरा मुझे निकालना पड़ा। एक साइड का चेहरा निकालना पड़ा मुझे, चमड़े को छोड़ के पूरा चेहरा निकालना पड़ा। एंड फाइनल रिपोर्ट में काफी रिपोर्ट खराब आया, तो मैं काफी दुखी था। बट एक हफ्ते के बाद 1 वीक लेटर द लेडी गॉट डिस्चार्ज फ्रॉम द हॉस्पिटल। जब वो फाइनल रिपोर्ट लेके आई तो उसमें रिपोर्ट में बहुत ही खराब रिपोर्ट था। रिपोर्ट में था कि जो बीमारी है खून की नली के थ्रू फैल रहा था, नस के थ्रू फैल रहा था, एग्रेसिव, और उनके ओवरऑल आउटकम का उम्मीद बहुत बुरा था। अब उनको थोड़ा मैंने हौसला दिया है, gave her encouragement, support. She was known to one of our directors, and then after that I sent her home. 2 weeks later she came back to me, and ये आप नोट कर लीजिए ये डेट को कि नवंबर में मैंने कंप्लीट सर्जरी सब कंप्लीट किया था 2015 में। ये 2016 जनवरी में मैडम वापस आए मेरे पास, जबकि उनका कीमो रेडिएशन शुरू करना, बट तब तक बीमारी वापस आ चुका था। इतना खराब बीमारी था कि 2 महीने के अंदर वो बीमारी वापस आ चुका था और फैल भी गया था। और इसमें मैं इतना आश्वासन दे सकता हूँ कि अच्छा सर्जन हूँ, पूरा अच्छी तरह से निकाला था, पूरा रिपोर्ट भी बहुत बढ़िया था। और मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा था कि ये बीमारी बहुत कम में 2% से 3% लोगों में ऐसे बीमारी खराब आती है, जैसे कि आप एक ही बार निकालो 3 महीने के अंदर वो इतना डबल फोर्स से आती है, जैसे कि मधुमक्खी के जाल में हम लोगों ने पत्थर फेंका हो और वो सारे मधुमक्खियों ने हमको अटैक किया हो, वैसे ही बीमारी आती है। तो इनमें इन दिस पेशेंट कम बैक फुल्ली स्प्रेड इनटू द लंग्स। एंड मैडम मेरे पास व्हील चेयर में आई, एंड उस टाइम में क्या हुआ था, जब वो व्हील चेयर में मेरे पास आई तब मैंने बोला कि मैं हमारे मेडिकल ऑन्कोलॉजिस्ट को पूछूंगा कि क्या उनके पास कुछ और दिन का मोहलत के लिए हम कीमोथेरेपी दे सकते हैं। तो हमारे मेडिकल ऑन्कोलॉजिस्ट ने फाइल में लिखा कि 1 महीने से ज्यादा इनका बचने की जो उम्मीद है नहीं है, तो इसके लिए बेहतर होगा कि हम इनको कुछ नया ट्रीटमेंट दें। तो रेडिएशन ऑन्कोलॉजिस्ट ने एंड मेडिकल ऑन्कोलॉजिस्ट बोथ टोल्ड प्लीज डोंट गिव एनी मोर ट्रीटमेंट्स, इट इज बेटर टू गिव हर पैलिएटिव केयर, यानी कि उनको घर में जाके बैठ के अपना टाइम स्पेंड करना। बट डॉक्टर स्टैन की जिंदगी में एक अनुभव के बाद एक मन में एक तरह का हौसला था, एक तरह का कॉन्फिडेंस था, और एक तरह का कहीं ना कहीं स्वामी का एक इंस्ट्रक्शन था कि तू पहले अपना प्रयत्न कर, बाकी का मेरे ऊपर छोड़ दे। तो मैंने फैमिली को बोला कि देखो कुछ नए ट्रीटमेंट्स आ रहे हैं और हमारी तरफ से इम्यून सिस्टम को एक्टिवेट करने के लिए कुछ सिंपल तरीके हैं, यानी कि अगर मैं पूरा बिल्डिंग को उड़ा नहीं सकता तो मैं एक एक ईंट को निकालना शुरू कर, इस तरह से हम लोग बीमारी को थोड़ा काबू में रखने का कोशिश कर सकते हैं थोड़े दिन के लिए। इससे क्योर का कोई संभावना नहीं है, बट एटलीस्ट हमारा कोशिश होगा कि अंतिम समय में उनको दर्द ना हो और उनको अच्छा नींद हम दे सके और उनको खाना पीना चलता रहे। ये हमारा 3 उद्देश्य था। टिपिकली वो बोलने के बाद फैमिली भी काफी दुखी था और मैडम चले गए थे, लंग में काफी जगह भी नहीं था सांस लेने के लिए। तो हम देख रहे थे कि 1 हफ्ते से 3-4 हफ्ते का मोहलत था मैडम के पास। 3 to 4 weeks was the maximum she would have lived with this. 6 महीने के बाद एक दिन ऐसा हुआ कि जब मेरा रूटीन ओपीडी चल रहा था, उनकी बेटे मुझे मिलने आए। हर सन केम टू मीट मी। अब यूजुअली क्या हुआ ओपीडी में, यूजुअली जब ऐसे स्थिति में लोग आते हैं 6 महीने बाद, वो डेथ सर्टिफिकेट के साथ इंश्योरेंस का कोई क्वेरी लेने आते हैं या फिर कोई प्रश्न पूछने आते हैं, ऐसा करके लोग आते हैं। तो मैंने सोचा कि वो उसके लिए आए थे, तो मैंने ज्यादा जिक्र नहीं किया उनके मदर के बारे में, बट मैंने ऐसे सोचा कि बाद में पूछूं कि अभी घर में सब कैसे चल रहा है, मैडम का अंतिम दिन कैसा था, क्या हुआ था, कैसे है मैडम का। तो बताते वक्त जो उनके बेटे थे बोले, सर आपकी हेल्प से मैडम बहुत अच्छे हैं, अभी इम्प्रूव हो गए हैं। 6 महीने के बाद वो बोल रहे हैं कि वो अभी तो खाना वाना बना रहे हैं, गार्डनिंग कर रहे हैं और अपने रूटीन लाइफ में जी रहे हैं। बड़ा अजीब लगा क्योंकि 6 months he is telling me she's gone back to normal life, she's cooking, she's doing routine life, and I thought she has come to take signature on death certificates or on insurance papers or some kind of government documents. So I was a little shocked, I said, this is not really, so shayad mazak chal raha hai, how can it be that the lady is alive still? This is not usual. तो मैंने बोला कि अगर मैडम जिंदा हैं और अच्छे हैं तो मुझे क्यों नहीं मिलने आ रहे? तो उसने बोला एक्चुअली मैडम बाहर बैठे हैं सर, वो सोफा में बाहर वेट कर रहे हैं वेटिंग रूम में, बट वो आपको मिलना नहीं चाहती. तो शी डजंट वांट टू मीट यू, बट शी इज डूइंग वेल. आई सेड ये तो मतलब गलत हो गया, मैडम बाहर बैठे हैं बट मुझे मिलना नहीं चाहते हैं. तो आई सेड मैंने तो पूरा दवाई दिया था, ये दिया था. नहीं सर, एक्चुअली आप गलत मत समझिए, मैडम आपसे थोड़ा डरते हैं, वो सोचते हैं कि अगर आप उनको जिंदा देखेंगे तो तुरंत आप कीमोथेरेपी शुरू कर देंगे, तो इस डर से वो अंदर नहीं आना चाहते. So she is scared that if I see her, I will again start chemotherapy and treatment on her. So she doesn't want to see you. So don't mind, sir, please. Then I said, okay, that is okay. So let her not come inside. But when I open the door, I would like to see her. And I would like to know what brings you here then. So he said, नहीं sir, actually क्या हुआ था कि मैडम मेरी मदर जो है वो थोड़ा सर्जरी के बाद कॉस्मेटिकली ना उनका चेहरे का एक साइड थोड़ा अंदर चला गया था, तो वो सोच रहे थे कि कोई प्लास्टिक सर्जरी हो सकता है. तो मैं थोड़ा डर गया. मैंने बोला सर उनका जिंदा रहना 1 महीने से ज्यादा होने का संभावना नहीं था. ये आप बोल रहे हो 6 महीने वो जिंदा है और आप बोल रहे हैं प्लास्टिक सर्जरी करना है ताकि 70 ईयर्स में थोड़ा और बेहतर लगे मैडम. तो मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि ये एज में ऐसा सब मत कीजिए, अब पहले मुझे देखने दीजिए. तो बहुत डिस्कशन के बाद फाइनली मैडम अंदर आ गए और मैं मैडम को देख के बड़ा चौकन्ना हो गया. ये हमारा फोटो है मेरे ऑफिस में उनकी फैमिली के साथ, एंड आप मैडम को यहाँ पे दे सकते हो ग्रीन कलर साड़ी में. मैडम का जो लेफ्ट साइड का चेहरा है अंदर चला गया है और ये 3 महीने पहले का फोटो है. यानी कि अभी कितना साल हो गया है, 2015 से लेके 2023 तक, ये 3 महीने पहले वो मुझे मिलने आती है. अब मेरे पास इसका कोई जवाब नहीं है. और जब वो 6 महीने बाद भी जब आए तब मैंने उनको रिक्वेस्ट किया था कि मैं एक पेट स्कैन करूंगा. तब उन्होंने बोला मुझे कोई स्कैन नहीं चाहिए, मैं जा रही हूँ, और निकल के चले गए. तो अभी भी आते हैं, मुझे मिलने आते हैं, बट बोलते हैं कि अगर तू कुछ स्कैन वैन कराएगा तो देखो गुस्सा करूंगा मैं, मुझे करना ही नहीं कुछ भी. बट उन्होंने मेरे थोड़ा फोर्स में और मेरे इंसिस्टेंस पे एक स्कैन कराया उन्होंने, जिसमें मैंने देखा कि पूरा बीमारी चला गया, कोई बीमारी था नहीं. अब मैं ये बोलना चाहूंगा कि मैंने कुछ मैजिक किया और मेरे ट्रीटमेंट में कुछ मैजिक हुआ. बहुत खुशी लगता है कभी कभी सोच के कि हाँ मैंने किया था ये काम. बट फिर भी स्वामी का स्टाइल है कि वो बोलते हैं कि तू बाईपास करेगा तो देख याद दिलाऊंगा फिर से. तो हम थोड़ा घबराते हैं बहुत ये बोलने के लिए कि क्रेडिट लेने के लिए कि हमने कुछ किया था. बट इस पर्टिकुलर जो सूत्रधार है वो आप सबको पता है कि कैसे ये लेडी का ओवरऑल आउटकम इतना अच्छा हुआ. और इस बात में एक इम्पॉर्टेंट सा चीज है, एक स्वामी जी मेरे ऑफिस में एक बार आए और मुझे एक बहुत अच्छी सा बात बोले कि देखो ये जो हस्त गुण हम बोलते हैं, जो हमारे हाथ में हीलिंग पावर होता है, हीलिंग हैंड्स बोलते हैं डॉक्टर के लिए, वो कहाँ से आता है? वो इट कम्स फ्रॉम ऑल द पेशेंट्स हु प्रे फॉर यू, इट कम्स फ्रॉम गॉड्स ग्रेस. सो इन दैट वे whenever you touch a patient, whenever you are healing a patient, it is not out of your self power, it is not out of your talent, skill, not out of all of this that healing powers come. It is out of pure grace of God that healing powers come to you. So it is through this Swami's grace that today this lady lives on. And I've given a TED talk on her also, and several other patients like this. I would, if anybody wants to, you can Google it up as Voice of Change. It's a TEDx talk I had given on these cancer patients. But what told me, and Dr. Stan's teachings for me in cancer was, which I've become a good proponent of, was heal your cancer, don't fight with it. Always we keep telling, fight your cancer. Swami said, look, coexist with it. You can actually heal it by coexisting with it. The second thing was, you may have cancer, let not the cancer have it. Oftentimes we think that मेरे पास कैंसर है, but कैंसर मुझे छू नहीं सकता. और तीसरा चीज ये है कि हमारे जीवन का उद्देश्य क्या है. हम सब में मनोकामनाएं, हम सब में एक आशा है कि मैं ये बनना चाहता हूँ, वो बनना चाहता हूँ, बट मेरे जीवन का उद्देश्य क्या है. और कैंसर कभी कभी हमको ये सिखाता है. इस चीज में मुझे एक स्वामी का मैसेज ये था कि जब हम गर्भ में होते हैं और आज के जो 300 पार्टिसिपेंट हैं सारे एक दिन वी ऑल स्टार्टेड, हम लोग एक जीवांश से हमारे माँ के कोख में जन्मे थे, हम एक जीवांश से हम लोग 9 महीने के अंदर हम लोग मिलियंस ट्रिलियन सेल्स हो गए। कभी भी किसी ने हमको कैंसर नहीं बुलाया था या ट्यूमर या ग्रोथ नहीं बुलाया, हमको तो सब लोगों ने बड़े प्यार से बोला था कि एक नया जन्म हो रहा है, एक नया जीव हमारे फैमिली में another is taking birth in our family, a new soul is coming to birth and things like that, all positive terms. But हम लोग जब कैंसर के बारे में बोलते हैं तो हम लोग बोलते हैं उसका मार सकते हैं, हम लोग उसको मर्डर कर सकते हैं, हम लोग उसको एलिमिनेट कर सकते हैं, हम उसको किल कर सकते हैं, हम उसको फाइट कर सकते हैं, सारा नेगेटिव टर्म यूज करते हैं। तो ये एक स्वामी का मैसेज था स्टैंड के थ्रू के जितना आप लव दो, एंड स्वामी हर वक्त उनकी जिंदगी में हर वक्त बोले लव ऑल सर्व ऑल, तो जितना हम ये सेल्स को भी प्यार दें, सेल्स को भी, क्योंकि ये सेल्स अपने ही सेल्स हैं, ये सेल्स बाहर के वायरस या बैक्टीरिया नहीं है, अपने ही सेल्स, इनको जितना प्यार दो, डिसिप्लिन दो, ये हमारे वो कोख में पले हुए एक अंश के बच्चे की तरह हैं जिन, और उस प्यार से एक तरह का अंदर में एक परिवर्तन होता है शरीर में, और वो शरीर का परिवर्तन जो है कोई भी दवाई से अकेला नहीं हो सकता। अक्सर मैं बोलता हूँ पेशेंट्स को कि देखो, पेशेंट्स मेरे पास आते हैं, बोलते हैं डॉक्टर साहब अब आप ट्रीटमेंट को टेक ओवर करो। मैं बोलता हूँ जैसे कि ये पेशेंट का मैंने स्कैन बताया था, उसके स्कैन में 10% कैंसर बीमारी था, 90% तो अच्छे से, बट क्या वो 90% को वो भूल गई थी? 10% को मुझे आउटसोर्स करके उन्होंने 90% को भी भूल गई थी। बट ये 90% किसका है? ये जो अच्छे शल, ये अच्छे जीवांश जो है उनको कौन उनको अच्छा कर सकता है, ये सोचने के लिए जो इम्यून सिस्टम है ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कि हर पेशेंट, मैं बोल रहा हूँ आज इतने हमारे पार्टिसिपेंट्स है, आप ये सिंपल मैसेज, कोई भी अगर कैंसर पेशेंट आपके सामने आए तो इतना सिंपल तो बोल सकते हो कि देखो थोड़े ही अंश आपकी बीमारी में शरीर में है, तो आप जब ले रहे हो अपने शरीर को आउटसोर्स किसी को मत करो। जैसे कि हम लोग बोलते हैं ना, आजकल आउटसोर्स सर्विसेज बहुत हो गया है, हर चीज में, खाने में, शादी में, प्यार में, डिनर में, फ्रेंड्स में, सब आउटसोर्स कर देते हैं हम लोग। काम तो कोई कुछ करता नहीं, आउटसोर्स कर देता है। अरे अच्छा व्हाट्सएप फॉरवर्ड का जमाना है, हम लोग तुरंत फॉरवर्ड कर देते हैं बिना पढ़े कुछ चीज को। तो आउटसोर्स करना स्वामी सोचते हैं कि वो एक इंपॉर्टेंट सा चीज है। बट स्वामी ने मुझे ये बात बताया था, और ये मैं आपको एक फोटो में बता रहा हूँ। ये सर्वांतर्यामी जो है स्वामी, उन्होंने मुझे एक बार अपना नरसिंह रूप दिखा।
Doctor, sorry to interrupt. Maybe you should use a mix of English also, because we have a lot of Saudis also, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu. They might miss the beauty of your talk actually. If you don't mind.
Sure.
Thank you.
So जब स्वामी ने मुझे ये बात बताया था, स्वामी ने मुझे एक बहुत अच्छा सा चीज बोला था। स्वामी told me something very beautiful. If you read this here, he told me be a good referologist. See, we are in the time of what we call outsourcing. यानी कि we think less, we outsource everything. We outsource our homework, we outsource our cleaning work, we outsource our scientific work, we outsource our food through Swiggy, Zomato, Dunzo, we outsource everything in our life seems to be outsourced. But Swami told me a very beautiful thing. The real thing that should be outsourced, that is when you are feeling helpless, be a good referologist. Swami told me, he said, look, if you can't solve this problem, refer it to me with devotion. You have not referred it to me. You could have referred this case to me and I'll take over it. Don't say that I can't do it and that's why you send the patient back. At the time when you are helpless and when you think that you can't do anything, close your eyes at that moment, pray to me and say, Swami, I'm handing over this patient to you. And after that, don't sit and question me. And I think that is the learning lesson for me from this particular patient जो मैंने आपको पहले दिखाया था. ये एक दूसरा छोटा सा कहानी है. एक्चुअली हम लोग स्वामी को जगदीश्वरी, महेश्वरी, साईश्वरी, साई माँ बोलते हैं. स्वामी के भजन में आप लोगों ने सुना रहेगा प्रति में कि ये बहुत ही एक प्यारा सा भजन है स्वामी का. ये बच्चा गा रहा था, जगदीश्वरी, महेश्वरी, साईश्वरी, साई माँ बोल के. See, I always say Swami is closer to you than your physical mother. Swami is the eternal mother and maybe has the love of 1,000 or 1 million mothers. Now, I must tell you a very interesting instance for my story. मैं बैंगलोर में हूँ और मैं बैंगलोर के स्लम्स के लिए और कुछ विलेजेस के लिए काम करता था, डी एडिक्शन का काम करता था। तो बहुत उसमें काम में बहुत मैं इंटरेस्ट लेता था। तो हर सैटरडे या संडे को मैं 1-2 घंटे बिताता था। आई यूज्ड टू गो टू स्लम्स एंड आई यूज्ड टू स्पेंड टाइम विद द विलेजेस डूइंग डी एडिक्शन। तो एक दिन मेरा एक दोस्त था, वो रिपोर्टर था, जर्नलिस्ट था, डैनियल बोल के। उसने मुझे बोला, विशाल यार, जब भी तुम जा रहे हो तो मुझे भी एक बार लेके चलो, मुझे भी देखना है कि तुम लोग डी एडिक्शन सब वगैरह कैसे करते हो कैंसर के लिए, और ये टोबैको, ये सब डी एडिक्शन जो आप लोग करते हो इसके लिए आप लोग कैसे करते हो, मुझे देखना है। तो मैंने उसको बोला था कि ठीक है, ऐसे whenever I'm going next time I'll call you. So there I was. On one Saturday, I called Daniel and I told him, look, I'm going for that de-addiction program. If you would like to join me. So he came along with me. So मैं ड्राइव कर रहा था गाड़ी में और स्वामी का फोटो सामने था। जैसे मैं वो जगह पहुंचने वाला था तो मुझे मन में एक सा अजीब सा सवाल आया, मन में एक डाउट आया कि अरे एक बात तो गलत हो गया। तो वहां पे प्रेयर करते हैं, भजन गाते हैं, फिर डी एडिक्शन काम होता है विलेजेस में। शायद मेरे जो कलीग है, जो मेरे दोस्त हैं, वो क्रिश्चियन थे, तो शायद वो गलत ना समझे कि ये कोई मतलब रिलीजियस एक्टिविटी है या कुछ है, क्योंकि हम तो सर्वधर्म को एक मान के चलते हैं और सब धर्म में एक ही तरह का भक्ति देखते हैं। तो एक मन में एक सारा छोटा सा शंका आया, आई गॉट अ स्मॉल डाउट that when I'm going, that he's a Christian, so he should not misunderstand this to be some kind of a religious activity that is restricted to some religion, because we believe in Sarvadharma. So I was sitting, and in front of me in the driving seat was Swami's photo. I remember sitting there, and I told Swami, I hope that he doesn't misunderstand. It was a 5-second conversation of mine and Swami, I hope he doesn't misunderstand. And my car parked, and जैसे मेरा कार पार्क हुआ और मैं बाहर उतरा, स्वामी के एक हमारे वॉलंटियर थे, मेरे साहिब ने वापस आके मुझे बोला, डॉक्टर साहब, आई हैव वन स्मॉल रिक्वेस्ट टू यू, देयर इज अ स्मॉल चेंज इन टुडेस प्रोग्राम। आई सेड यस प्लीज टेल मी। ही सेड सर, टुडे देयर इज अ स्मॉल प्रॉब्लम। टुडे दैट प्लेस वेयर यू आर डूइंग डी एडिक्शन, जहां पे आप वो डी एडिक्शन काम करते हो, वो जगह आज अवेलेबल नहीं है। दैट प्लेस इज नॉट अवेलेबल बिकॉज today there is some other that the shopkeeper is doing some other activity there. So is it okay if you are doing this in a new venue? यानी कि हमें venue change कर दिए हैं आज। तो मैंने बोला उसमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, कहीं पे भी हो जाए, हम हमारा बैठ के करते हैं, क्योंकि स्लम एरिया है, पूरे स्लम से वहां पे कंस्ट्रक्शन वर्कर काम करते हैं। तो इस बार क्या हुआ था, बहुत ही अनोखा चीज हुआ था। जो स्लम के एरिया में, जो छोटा हट में जो हम लोगों ने जो प्रोग्राम इस बार का तय हुआ था, वो चर्च के अंदर तय हो गया था। ये हमारा 5 सेकेंड का हमारा कॉन्वर्सेशन है, मेरा और स्वामी का। तो मेरे दोस्त डैनियल काफी चौकन्ना हो गए, काफी मतलब वो आश्चर्य काफी। He was shocked because suddenly the brother comes and tells me, this time the change of venue, we are going to do the entire de-addiction program inside a church. So the entire satsang begins with singing carols for Jesus, praying for him, and then after that with my de-addiction program. So I just wanted to share this small incident with you, that how Swami sometimes is closest to you. You see, it was just 5 seconds. Just 5 seconds of a conversation. मेरे मन में एक डाउट आया कि कोई मिसअंडरस्टैंडिंग नहीं होनी चाहिए बोल के, एंड तुरंत उसको इतना ब्यूटीफुल सॉल्यूशन स्वामी ने निकाला था, ऐसा अनोखा तरीके में कि मैं खुद बयान नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ कि ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है कि 2 मिनट के अंदर मैं जब मैं पहुंच रहा हूँ, वहां पे वेन्यू चेंज हो गया, चर्च आ गया है, वो जगह जहां पे मैं बैठता था, वो जगह का पूजा छोड़ के जीसस का फोटो आ गया है और प्रार्थना चल रहा है। बड़ा खुशी हुआ, बट एक अनोखा सा चीज था आप लोगों को बताने के लिए, टू टेल ऑल ऑफ यू दैट स्वामी is closer to us than our physical mothers and has the love of a million mothers, so speak to him more often in your own way, and you will see the conversations are getting more and more deeper and more beautiful with him. This is the story of a very interesting young boy. I'm going to share you just stories और stories. मैं आप लोगों को एक एक मेरा एक्सपीरियंस बताता जाऊंगा। जैसे मैंने पहले स्लाइड में डिस्क्लेमर में बोला था, मेरा और स्वामी का कॉन्वर्सेशन बहुत ही कम हुआ है, सिर्फ एक्सपीरियंसेस के थ्रू हुआ है, कॉन्वर्सेशन के थ्रू हुआ है, विजन्स के थ्रू हुआ है। तो पहले कुछ मेरे जो कहानियां हैं, इट इज ऑल अबाउट एक्सपीरियंसेस विद हिम एंड हाउ ही मतलब उन्होंने मतलब हास्य तरीके से मैं बोलता हूँ कि उन्होंने हर वक्त मुझे बताया कि तू कर नहीं रहा है, मैं कर रहा हूँ. So he used to show me that it is not you who is doing this thing, it is me who is doing this. So this boy is the child of a construction worker, 12-year-old. ये 12 साल का बच्चा कंस्ट्रक्शन वर्कर का एक बेटा था. इसका प्रॉब्लम क्या हुआ था कि एक दिन कंस्ट्रक्शन साइट में इसकी मदर इसके पास आई खाना खाने के बाद. So after food, when his mother came to meet him, she often asked him whether he has rinsed his mouth and cleaned himself. So he was trying to take out through a rusted nail. Through a nail, he was trying to take out and clean his teeth. तो ऐसे दांत को क्लीन करते करते और उसको दांतों में अंदर डालते डालते जब उसकी मदर को देखा तो वो डर के मारे वो निगल गया. वो आप लोग क्या बोलते हैं, कांटे को वो निगल गया. और इतना बड़ा नेल था, कांटा था वो, और डर के मारे निकल गया. और डर के मारे निकलने में यूजुअली अगर वो पेट में जाता तो फिर भी ठीक था, वो उसके लंग के अंदर चला गया. तो आप अगर ये पिक्चर देख रहे हो यहाँ पे, ये एक्सरे को थोड़ा दौर से देखिए. और मैं आप लोगों को शायद अगर आई डोंट नो हाउ डू आई, इफ पीपल कैन सी इट शुभदा, दैट शुड बी ओके, बट यू कैन आई थिंक somebody can, I think I'm going to do that. Let me just,
So they can pinch it out, pinch करके zoom करके दिख जाएगा screen.
मैं दिखा रहा हूँ. Can you see the pointer now? आप लोगों को मैं इसमें दिखा रहा हूँ कि ये एरिया में वो पिन था. तो इसमें क्या होता है यहाँ पे, तो मैं जो यहाँ पे दिखा रहा था, ये पॉइंटर में, ये this is the nail that had gone inside and got stuck in his lungs. I hope everybody can see it. तो इस तरीके से क्या हुआ कि ये लंग के अंदर जाके अटक गया. अब ये पर्टिकुलर चीज उसने अपने माँ को बताया नहीं. So he did not tell his mother this particular thing for 6 months until the child got breathlessness. So the child slowly started developing difficulty in breathing. And it is at that time they took him to a government hospital nearby, and the government hospital and said that there is a rusted nail stuck inside that place for more than 6 months. So now the question was, this is a very poor child, this is a construction worker, और हमारा सोच ये था कि इसको क्या करें, इसको हल कैसे निकालें. अब मेरा काफी फ्रस्ट्रेशन हो गया था. तो मेरे कलीग ने मुझे फोन किया था एक्चुअली कि विशाल ये ऐसा है, लंग के एरिया के नीचे में जाके अटक गया है, और वो पर्टिकुलर एक ब्रोंकोस्कोपी एक टेक्निक में, क्योंकि तू कैंसर में वो सब अक्सर करता रहता है ये प्रोसीजर, क्या तू मुझे हेल्प कर सकते है, क्योंकि 6 महीने में ये यहाँ पे इतना इन्फेक्शन हो गया है और ऐसा एक मतलब चमड़े की तरह बढ़ गया है वहां पे कि उसका सिर्फ एक छोटा सा टिप दिखाई दे रहा है, पूरा बरी हो गया अंदर. दैट मीन्स द एंटायर नेल इज बरीड इनसाइड दैट पर्टिकुलर एरिया ऑफ द विंड पाइप एंड लंग, दैट आई कांट सी एनीथिंग, आई कुड सी अ टिप. जब मैं अंदर गया था टच करने के लिए, इतना ब्लीडिंग हो गया कि हमको रोकना पड़ा सर्जरी को. वी हैड टू स्टॉप द सर्जरी बिकॉज ऑफ. सो व्हाट हैपेंड, एनीवेज आई टोल्ड माय फ्रेंड्स कि मैं तो कैंसर ट्यूमर सब देखता हूँ, ये तो मतलब कांटे का सर्जरी तो मैंने कभी किया ही नहीं है. मतलब मैंने बैठ के, मतलब पहले मैं सब थोड़ा टेक्निक्स देखता था, बट मैं इसमें सब स्पेशलाइज नहीं करता हूँ. तो उसने बोला यार देखो होप तो है ही नहीं, हमको ही करना है अभी, वो पेशेंट तो बहुत पुअर है, कहाँ पे कर सकते हैं. तो मैंने हमारे मैं तभी एक विजिटिंग होके मेडिकल कॉलेज जाता था, तो मैं मेडिकल कॉलेज की मेरी टीम को मैंने पूछा कि क्या हम वहां पे कर सकते हैं. तो उन्होंने बोला सर अगर आप कॉन्फिडेंट हो तो हम ट्राई कर सकते हैं. तो मैंने बोला ठीक है. तो क्योंकि वहां पे तो फ्री होता है, तो हम लोग बच्चे को वो मेडिकल कॉलेज में शिफ्ट किया. अब एक दिन पहले एक बड़ा अच्छा बुक है ब्रोंकोस्कोपी में टेक्निक्स में, शेवेलियर जैक्सन बोल के, जैक्सन का टेक्निक बहुत माना जाता है. तो मैं वो किताब बैठ के रात भर पढ़ रहा था. 100-200 पन्नों का किताब है वो. बैठ के बहुत ही डीप वे में मैं पढ़ रहा था उसको, और हर पन्ना जब पलट के मैं पढ़ रहा था तब डर लग रहा था कि अरे यार, इतना डर लग गया था, रात को सो नहीं पाया क्योंकि कल सुबह सर्जरी था. नेक्स्ट मॉर्निंग इज द सर्जरी, and I am reading Chevalier Jackson book page by page, and I am reading it. I am not able to get sleep, and I am thinking, where am I stuck here? Why am I doing all this? And somewhere I felt unethical. कि क्या मैं unethical काम कर रहा हूँ? क्या मैं a thing which I am not supposed to do, am I doing that? काफी डर था. तो लास्ट को फ्रस्ट्रेशन में बैठ के मेरे घर के जो मंदिर है उसमें स्वामी का फोटो के सामने बैठ गया. I went and sat before Swami and I said, Swami, why are you putting me through this struggle? मुझे ये करना आता नहीं है, why am I doing all these things? I don't want to do this thing. स्वामी प्लीज मुझे बचा लो इसमें से, अगर आपको करना है तो करो इसको, मुझे इससे बाहर निकालो कहीं से। मैं बहुत डर गया हूँ, मैं बहुत डर गया था। तो मैं सोचा कि बड़ा दिल से प्रे किया स्वामी को, स्वामी मुझे बचा लो, इज्जत का सवाल है, कुछ भी बच्चे को हो गया तो मेरा तो मैं सोच भी नहीं सकता। आई वाज थिंकिंग दैट व्हाट इफ समथिंग हैपेंस टू द चाइल्ड एंड द चाइल्ड डाइज और समथिंग लाइक दैट, आई विल नेवर बी एबल टू फॉरगिव मायसेल्फ। Anyway, I prayed to Swami at night, midnight. I didn't sleep that night correctly. I only was reading. Next morning I went. OT के अंदर पहुंचते ही जो नर्सिंग हेड है हमारे OT के, तो वो बाहर आई. She came out and asked me, Dr. Rao, you know, yesterday I saw that you have posted this case. My team came and told me you are planning this very complex surgery. So जो instruments है, क्योंकि वहां पे जो मेडिकल कॉलेज है उसमें सबसे पुराने इंस्ट्रूमेंट थे, सारे के सारे मतलब बेसिक इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स हैं, सोफिस्टिकेटेड तो छोड़ो, बट बेसिक से बेसिक इंस्ट्रूमेंट भी बहुत पुराना था। मेडिकल कॉलेज है उसमें, और वो इट इज इन द रूरल एरिया दैट मेडिकल कॉलेज। सो ये सोच के मैंने सोचा कि पता नहीं क्या कर रहा हूं मैं। एनीवे, तो जब नर्सिंग हमारे स्टाफ अंदर आई तो उन्होंने बोला, सर जब मैं कल ही OT लिस्ट देख रही थी तो मैंने देखा कि हमारे स्टोरेज में एक बड़ा बॉक्स में एक नया इंस्ट्रूमेंट है, तो मैं आपको दिखाना चाहती हूँ। So she said that in the storage, because I saw in the OT list you are doing this complex procedure, I was looking at instruments and suddenly I found a full box of new instruments which are there. So I wanted to show them to you. I said, yeah. I said, I would like to have a look at it. Please show it to me. So I went into the storage, OT stores. There was a beautiful box packed from a German company. I opened it, stores ka. And I realized उसमें करीबन 6 instruments थे जो मैंने previous रात की किताब में पढ़े थे. The previous night I had read in the book on those 6-7 important essential instruments that would be ideal to do a procedure. अब वो 6 नए brand new with box piece unused वहां पे बैठे थे। So मैंने बोला यार ये तो चमत्कार हो गया है, तो मतलब ये इंस्ट्रूमेंट कहाँ से आ गया? तो I told her हाँ immediately इसको स्टेरलाइज करो और इसको तैयार करो, मैं यही यूज करूँ। तो सारा प्रोसीजर तैयार हो गया। We came up and जो है नाउ टिपिकली इसका एक लंग जो है, एक लंग को पार्टली ब्लॉक कर रहा था ये पर्टिकुलर काटा। सो दिस नेल वाज ब्लॉकिंग वन पार्ट ऑफ द लंग। सो इन ऑर्डर टू ओपन दैट अप आई रियलाइज दैट आई हैव टू नाउ द एनेस्थीसिया पर्सन टोल्ड मी कि हम आपको 1 मिनट देंगे, वो 1 मिनट में हम वी विल गिव ऑक्सीजन टू द लंग and then in that another minute you have to go inside. So 1 minute you will get, 1 minute we'll get. We'll be having to do this multiple times. Because we will have to go into a state when there is going to be no breathing at all, and there are very life-threatening risks with this. I remember the first attempt that I did, मैंने स्कोप अंदर डाल के, सारे नए इंस्ट्रूमेंट थे तो बहुत अच्छे दिख रहे थे, तो मैंने डाल के अंदर देखा, उसका टिप दिखाई दे रहा था रस्टेड वाला। और मेरा कलीग जो पीडियाट्रिक कलीग था, वो पीडियाट्रिक कलीग मेरा वो भी आया हुआ था मेरे साथ, क्योंकि उसने रेफर किया था, उसने बोला था कि गवर्नमेंट हॉस्पिटल में कर नहीं सकते तो मैं भी तुम्हारे साथ रहूंगा, and in case bleeding होता है तो we have to open the chest fully to stop the bleeding and save the life. So there we were. I saw the thing and I told him you are right, and he said look be careful because last time जब मैंने touch किया था, when I touched this nail it started bleeding a lot, so I had to abandon the procedure. यानी कि मैंने को procedure रोकना पड़ा क्योंकि बहुत bleeding हो गया था। तो उसने बोला बहुत सावधानी से तो ये नया स्टेप ले लिया। तो मैंने बोला ठीक है। तो हम लोग, मैंने पहली बार देखा, 2 मिनट के अंदर मैं बाहर आया, एनेस्थीसिया वालों ने फिर से उसको ऑक्सीजन देना शुरू किया। अब नेक्स्ट स्टेप था कि उसको हम लोग टच करके देखें, ताकि हम लोग देखें कि कितना गहरा है और ब्लीडिंग में कितना हम कंट्रोल कर पाएंगे उसको, ताकि हम लोगों को एक अंदाजा आए कि हाउ डीप इट इज एंड व्हाट डू वी डू। सो दैट वाज आवर नेक्स्ट स्टेप। सो द एनेस्थीसिया पीपल टोल्ड ओके यू आर रेडी, गो इनसाइड। सो वी वेंट इनसाइड। सो मैंने फिर से स्कोप डाला, मैं वो टिप को देख के, मेरा एक फोरसेप्स है, फोरसेप्स मतलब एक इंस्ट्रूमेंट डाला मैंने उसको टच करके मूव करने के लिए, जिसमें मैं उसको पकड़ के टच कर सकता हूँ कि वो कितना डीप है और कितना गहरा है। ऐसा करके मैंने उसको टच किया और उसके बाद थोड़ा शेक करने का कोशिश किया, और उसके बाद मुझे पता नहीं क्या हुआ कि मुझे सिर्फ आवाज सुनाई दिया एनेस्थेटिस्ट का घबराहट में कि निकालो निकालो बाहर निकालो, जल्दी से बाहर आ जाओ। तो मैं बाहर आ गया और मैं ये सोच रहा था कि नेक्स्ट इंस्ट्रूमेंट में डालूंगा तब तक एनेस्थीसिया और ऑक्सीजन देने के लिए, बट कोई रिस्पॉन्स नहीं आ रहा था। और कुछ ही सेकंड के अंदर 1-2-3 लोगों ने क्लैप मारना शुरू किया। तो मैं टर्न करके जब मैंने देखा तो वो जो नेल था वो टेबल के ऊपर था, हमारे OT टेबल में, मतलब हमारे जो इंस्ट्रूमेंट सेट के नेक्स्ट में वो नेल था। So I think ये वो nail था. So I'm showing the nail to all of you all. This is the rusted nail that was inside, poking his lung, piercing his heart slowly. And मैं थोड़ा confused हो गया था. Actually मैंने उसको touch नहीं किया था, मैंने उसे निकाला नहीं था. तो मैं थोड़ा घबरा गया था थोड़ी देर के लिए कि उन्होंने सब लोग तालियां बजाते, तो मैं सोचा तालियां छोड़ो, ये बाहर कैसे आ गए. तो मैं काफी कंफ्यूज हो गया. तो मैंने बोला नहीं, मैं एक और बार फिर से देखना चाहूंगा. बोले यार तो वो तो बाहर आ गया है, और एनेस्थीसिया वाले ने भी अंदर देखा, बोला यार कोई ब्लीडिंग नहीं है, सब कुछ आ गया है. वो कैसे, मतलब तूने कौन सा टेक्निक यूज किया? तो मैं बोला यार टेक्निक तो पता नहीं है, पता नहीं कौन सा टेक्निक है, मुझे टेक्निक छोड़ो, मुझे पता नहीं कि वो बाहर कैसे आ गया. और इसने 10 बार मुझे मेरे कलीग ने बोला था कि उसको टच मत करो, ब्लीड हो गया. तो मैं थोड़ा इमोशनली सच बोल रहा हूँ आप लोगों को कि मैंने उसको निकाला नहीं था, बट डेफिनेटली उसको छुआ था. बट उसके बीच में क्या हुआ मुझे पता नहीं. दैट मीन्स आई वेंट इनसाइड, आई टच्ड इट, आई डिड नॉट रिमूव इट. अब बिटवीन टचिंग इट and trying to hear the voice of the anesthetist saying come out, I don't know what happened. I really did not want to pull it out. There's definitely one thing for sure, I did not hold it and pull it out, because mere paas utna, I did not have the courage to pull it out, because my colleague had already told me it's going to bleed a lot. So anyways, so this nail was out there, and OT lounge में हम लोग सब जब एक बड़ा सर्जरी करते तो हम सब लोग बड़ा सर्जन लोग ना, हमारा एटीट्यूड है कि बड़ा कॉफी लाउंज में बैठ के कॉफी पीते हैं, मतलब बड़ा चढ़ा के अपना बात करते हैं कि ऐसा हुआ सर्जरी, वैसा हुआ, So we feel a little proud about ourselves. We talk a little bit about the procedure. So my colleague was there sitting next to me and said, "Yeah, Vishal, now let's explain to us the technique." And मैं थोड़ा कॉफी में थोड़ा और मसरूफ था, busy. I was busy drinking coffee. I didn't want to talk to anybody. And लोग सोच रहे हैं कि इसको एटीट्यूड आ गया है, ये बंदा बता नहीं रहा है कि क्या किया इसने. So people thought he is trying to show attitude. He doesn't want to share the technique. I did not know what technique to show, because I did not know also technique in this. But I'm just sharing with all my Sai brothers and friends here. See, this is what Swami does to you. See, you don't know, and he's best explained by this particular thing that you don't know. Don't try to explain Swami. Don't try to explain him. I'm just telling you the nail is there on the. इसमें मुझे पूरा क्रेडिट मुझे मिला, तो मैं काफी वैसे ही काफी उत्तेजित हो गया था, काफी एक्साइटेड था. इसमें felt very positive, felt very upbeat about this whole thing. But what I wanted to share with all of you was that how do you nail your problems the Sai way? Surrender to him in this particular way, and look at how he solved this whole thing for me. So that was one small story that I want to share with my brothers about how sometimes you can't explain Swami. See, Swami is an experience. He's not a physical body. He's not an institution. He's not a place. He's not Puttaparthi. He's not, but he's not, bolte hi main galat ho jata hu, because he's also that. So, he's also this and he's also that. He's not only this. And that is what I would say is a better way to put him, that Naham Asmi, it is not only. So, it was Guru Purnima, and I must tell you, I was at Tata Hospital. That Guru Purnima was a special one. Arjun's mother had called me that day, Rekha Rao, she had called me and she had told me, Vishal, it is Guru Purnima, and I should, come early that day, because she wanted to take me to I think Dharmakshetra, and she loved one Ganesha temple near the station, near the Andheri station, if I'm not wrong. That's the Ganesha temple. She said, let's go for Guru Purnima. You keep working all the time. At least this time come with me. Let's go and go to the temple. So मैंने सारा plan करके ready रखा था. I told my surgical colleague, I told my colleagues that मैं थोड़ा जल्दी जाने वाला हूँ, and I had to leave early. So मैंने सारा preparation करके रखा था. तो Elphiston station, I told my colleagues at Tata that I'll be leaving early. Tata Hospital say Elphiston station takes a couple of minutes, and from there I take a train. Bombay, you meet the same people in the train every time, correct? Because it's Bombay runs like a schedule, like a proper schedule. So you have that bogie and the same group of people whom you meet. So I was planning to go in this particular train so that I can reach on time and I can be with her and go for the mandir, the darshan that day and the prayers. So it so happened that I left early. As I left, and I was on my way heading towards Elphiston, I got a call from my colleague. मुझे एक call आया मेरे colleague से कि उनको थोड़ा help चाहिए. हॉस्पिटल से कल का एक काम के लिए, एक सर्जरी के पहले का एक ऑडिट था, उसके लिए उनको थोड़ा सहायता चाहिए. तो उन्होंने वापस बुलाया, बोला कि यार 10 मिनट के लिए विशाल वापस आके हेल्प करें. तो मैंने बोला यार इस बार मैंने प्रॉमिस किया हमारे आंटी को कि मैं जल्दी आऊंगा, तो अगर आप इफ यू कैन एक्सक्यूज मी इट विल बी गुड, बिकॉज फिर से वापस आऊंगा जाऊंगा टाइम. उन्होंने बोला पक्का 5 मिनट से ज्यादा नहीं लगेगा, तू सिर्फ 5 मिनट्स के लिए आ जा मेरे पास. सो आई केम देयर फॉर 5 मिनट्स to Tata Hospital. I came, helped them in that particular format, in that reporting. And in 10 minutes, when I got up to again go back to the station, I remember my the office, one of the staff over there, the managers said, sir, Sara trains mein blast ho gaya hai, so you can't go. So that was the Mumbai train blast that happened. And I was in that train. I was supposed to be in that train that blew off. I had gone down till there. I did not board the train. I came now, and that was Swami's Guru Purnima gift to me, because I'm alive today. And I think my aunt thought that I was no more, because I had told her I'm pakka going to be in that train, cost, and I'm going to be coming soon. So I don't know how many people lost their lives in that particular thing, but I'm just saying that Swami, when he gives you some extra life extension, it is for a larger purpose. I would have been in that train that day, but it was his Guru Purnima gift to me, and I feel that every time he gives you a life extension, it is not for your purpose, it is for his purpose, and it is for a larger purpose. So every day, please remember this, my friends, that every day of your life in this leadership, for you are coming in this particular leadership program. What is leadership finally? I think leadership is to know who is the supreme leader. I think that is the day you realize that there is nothing above this. The supreme leader is the person whom you can surrender to. That is true leadership. And following that divine instruction, carry out your life. So all of us, somewhere I feel he has given us some life extension to carry out some purpose. So if it will be the greatest gift to Swami that if all the 375 attending here would take up one small mission to make one small difference every day in one person's life. It is a very big contribution. It's like 1 year we have covered in one lecture, in one talk, and 375 is like 1 year covered. If each one of us has covered this, I think we have given Swami 1 year of devotion and leadership. And I think that is what Swami would expect from us and hope from us. My auntie is very close to Swami, I would say, much closer to me. She has a lot of special experiences in her house. Vibhuti comes. I was a non-believer. I was not a strong believer of Swami. It's a long story, but I was not a believer of Swami. I was not a firm follower of Swami, but she was a very ardent devotee. My entry into Tata was a very interesting experience, which is, I think, a separate story, which I'll be telling you. So it starts with I'm going to tell you a very quick note about. I never believed in Swami. I never worshipped him. I never prayed for him very strongly, but I always respected him. My mother, my aunt were all great devotees of Swami. And my introduction to Swami came as a divine person whom I had not known much about. I had heard much about. I'd heard about miracles and all that, but that is not what would define Swami. But, it was about meager desires to be asked to him, to pray to him, to say if something is not happening, if you're not getting something, ask him, kind of a thing. So I was not devoted to Swami. I had my own approach to life, to prayer. And after my training in surgery, I wanted to do oncology, and I went to Bombay. I was waiting at Tata Hospital, and I had to go every day. I used to wait for hours to hope that I'll get an interview. And I wouldn't get much of. So it so happened that anyway, after my Tata Hospital stint, I had worked there for about 3.5+ years. One day, my aunt came and told me, Vishal, Swami came to me and told me that your work in Bombay is over, in Tata is over. Now he has told me to tell you Tata to Tata. That is what she told me. Your time has come. Swami has told you to tell Tata to Tata. Now your new journey begins. And I said, Auntie, I'm in the peak of my career. I'm at the best of my times. I don't think I'm ever going to leave Bombay. This is my life. She said, no, anyway, your time has come. And anyway, rightfully, 2 weeks later, I get a call, and anyway, life changes, and I'm in Bangalore, the Swami way. So my project Bangalore begins. Usually, I was quite frustrated with Bangalore. I really didn't like Bangalore. I'm placing it on record that there was a lot of injustice, corruption, dissatisfaction. All of us faced through this, you know. I'm sure we are 380 plus people here. All of us are not happy with life. You know, there is some life. I had the worst complaints with life. The place I was working, there was a lot of issues. There was corruption, there was dissatisfaction. And, you know, my mother would say patience, perseverance, love, surrender. And I would say, no. Practically all that is not possible. I said, I'm going through a living hell. I'm just going through terrible injustice. I can't handle it anymore. So my life was about understanding how to escape from Bangalore and go back to Bombay. I was dead tired, frustrated, depressed. And I thought to myself, I'm done with this. So I remember deeply in frustration, I went to Sai Darshan in Indiranagar in Bangalore. And I prayed to Swami and I said, Swami, by the way, FYI, I want to go back to Bombay. I don't want to carry out anymore. I don't want to carry on in Bangalore anymore. This is like FYI. This is a discussion where I'm not asking him. I'm telling him, no, please, this is for your information. Please note, I'm leaving Bangalore. I hate this place. Go to Mumbai. And, you know, I had by that time a lot of requests from my colleagues in Mumbai also to come back. And I thought this is a great opportunity. And I had a phenomenal CV. So I thought I'll definitely get through this. And this is something that I wish to continue my career in Mumbai. So that day in the bhajans, I got to do the Aarti. I finished the Aarti. I prayed to Swami. I said, Swami, thank you. Thank you for the support in Bangalore. I'm going to Mumbai. So I was all packed up because of I was fed up of Bangalore. By the way, I'm still sitting in Bangalore, my house. I'm right now in Bangalore. So you can imagine that he must have done something. So, you know, that a couple of days later, I got Swami's dream. So Swami is sitting in Sai Kulwant Hall. There are two Devis who are standing next to him, two ladies, well dressed. And these Devis are well ordained. And there is a Havan that is going on. And I'm sitting just at his feet. And I'm asking Swami, saying, Swami, a lot of injustice, a lot of problems in my life. You have to listen to me. And Swami is not looking at me. You know how he's sitting on his beautiful chair and he's looking the other side, like he was looking this way, you know, in one direction. And I'm telling him, Swami, please listen to me. I'm going through a lot of trouble. I'm going through a lot of issues. I'm not able to carry out work. I don't know what to do. I'm not able to do justice. I'm not able to do justice to my knowledge, to my skills, nothing. I'm feeling deeply frustrated. I want you to talk to me. I want you to guide me. Then he's looking the other side. He's still not looking at me. And this is getting me angry. It's getting me agitated, saying at least he can, you know, acknowledge my presence. I'm sitting in front of him. So in this anger, I tell him in a loud tone, like in a little bit of a tough, stern tone. I'm telling him, Swami, please listen to me. And I use this tone to him. And this is my vision in which I can so clearly see him. And he looks into my eyes and says, takes a piece of paper and writes fourth like this and gives it to me and says, go. I'll talk to you. So that's it. So I take this piece of paper and I go to a Sevadal on the first row and say, Swami has told me to go to the fourth row and sit there. Swami will call me and will personally be speaking to me. So he said, sir, the fourth row is full, sir. So there is no way you can sit on the fourth row. Maybe you can go behind. So then one more Sevadal. Finally, they throw me out of that Sai Kulwant Hall and I'm standing outside the gate. So that is my dream. I'm standing outside the gate of Sai Kulwant Hall with a piece of paper with fourth written on it, saying, then I asked the Sevadal saying, is it the fourth floor? They said, there is no fourth floor here, sir. So sorry, you know, and my dream breaks. And I wake up and I said, Swami, what is this for? You're supposed to talk to me. What's the solution? So 1 week later, I get a call from the hospital that the interviews were set up on August 4th. So I was feeling very happy. I said, oh, finally Swami has heard me. You know, this is very beautiful. I'm very excited that Swami has finally listened to me. You know, he was not listening to me. I've been times saying that मैंने बार-बार स्वामी को बोला कि मुझे बैंगलोर से बाहर निकालो, मैं यहाँ से पक गया हूँ, यहाँ का जो माहौल है यहाँ से पक गया हूँ, यहाँ बहुत गलत चल रहा था, मुझे संतृप्ति नहीं मिल रही थी, मुझे सुख नहीं मिल रहा था, चैन नहीं मिल रहा था, मुझे यहाँ से निकालो. बट वो दिन जो वो ड्रीम था तो उसमें मैं देख के मैंने ये स्वामी ने बोला कि मैं आपसे बात करूंगा और फोर्थ बोल के चिट्ठी पर्ची में लिख के दे दिया. ना फोर्थ रो था ना फोर्थ फ्लोर था, मैं बाहर आ गया, मेरा नींद टूट गया, मेरा जो मेरे सामने जो स्वामी का जो एक दृश्य था वो भी चला गया। एक हफ्ते के बाद मुझे एक कॉल आता है कि आपका इंटरव्यू जो है बॉम्बे में वो अगस्त में 4th में फिक्स हो गया है। तो मैंने सोचा अरे स्वामी का यही मैसेज था। सो स्वामी मस्ट हैव सेड 4th इज द इंटरव्यू। Now the person who were here in Bangalore where I was working, the head of that institution said, Vishal, you should not go anywhere. Bangalore is meant for you. Your destiny is Bangalore. I said, no, sir, you don't understand my story. I can't tell anybody. I have to run from here because I'm in the midst of corruption. I'm in the midst of a bag of worms. I don't want to tell anybody anything. If I open my mouth, I'm going to be in trouble. I better run. Now I'm telling this to my leadership friend because you see, sometimes leadership asks for much more than what a conventional circumstance can demand from me. So I said I had to run away. So the director there said, no, you have to stay here. This is your future and all that. Anyways, I had not told him that I'm applying and I'm running away because he'll feel bad. So I thought I'll just silently run away. Better not to explain to anybody. Why simply tell anybody this wrong, that right and all that? Better silently keep quiet and run away. So when I went for the interview in Mumbai, the door opens and that director is sitting as one of the jury panels. So I remember this story that the interview didn't take place for me fully. The person told, why are you come here? I told you are required in Bangalore. And I went back to Bangalore very happily. As I was coming out of the interview hall, I was sitting and laughing to myself and I told Swami, you could have at least told me that this is how it's going to happen. At least, I mean, this, why embarrass me in public like this, you could have told me you're not meant for this. There could be a more, but you know what Swami's message for me was, if I go back and think at it, I did not go to request him. I was very clear, I'm going. This is for your information. I don't care what you have to tell me, but this is my plan. So I was, through this particular thing, मैंने नीचे में लिखा है, आप भगवान को कैसे हंसा सकते हो? भगवान को हंसाने का बेस्ट तरीका ये है कि आप अपना प्लान भगवान को बताओ, स्वामी को बताओ कि आपका प्लान क्या है. तो मैं बताता था, मैंने बताया स्वामी को मेरा प्लान ये है. आई टोल्ड स्वामी दिस इज माय प्लान. सो स्वामी लाफ्ड एंड सेड हाँ प्लान करो, जो करना है करो. एंड that is my entire story with Swami on Bangalore, that I had a plan that I don't want to be in Bangalore. I told it to Swami. I said, Swami, FYI, for your information, this is what it is. I'm going. And Swami said, do what you want. So even in the dream, and finally, when the results came out, it was two ladies who got that particular seat that year. And I remember seeing both of them in that particular dream, that there were two people standing before Swami. So Swami had already decided that two people are going to get it, not you. And you are simply arguing with me, but you're not ready to listen. And I'm keeping on arguing with him. I keep irritating him. I keep bugging him. I keep telling him, सुनो, मेरी बात सुनो, मेरा प्लान सुनो. ऐसा बढ़िया प्लान, मैं मतलब प्रोजेक्ट रिपोर्ट समझा रहा हूँ स्वामी को कि इतना बढ़िया प्लान, इससे बेटर क्या हो सकता है जन कल्याण के लिए, सेवा के लिए. नहीं. So my leadership friends, I must tell you all that Swami is going to test you all. Each one of you in your leadership role is going to give Swami a plan. And Swami may reject it. I'm just telling you FYI, don't feel bad. I have been rejected 1,000 times and my rejections are monumental. Like I've been made a joke of. People laughed at me, and when I came out, I was like thinking, oh, why did this happen to me? I mean, there were better ways to embarrass me. This is the worst way of it. So anyways, that was Swami's accepting my resignation. So I'm going to close this session because I think we are running out of time. I'm going to quickly wrap up and I want to open it up for more discussions. And also, I'm just going to keep 1 or 2 points. मेरे सारे दोस्तों से मैं बोलना चाहूँगा अगले 5-10 मिनट में. Is that okay, Shubda? In 5-10 minutes, because otherwise my stories will not end, and Popi sir will get angry at me.
Yes, sir. 5 minutes is fine, sir. Right, sir.
I have a cool cat, Dr. Vishal. I don't get angry.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So I'm for the wanting to stick to my timings. Swami's. So there's again a conflict. You get हम लोग ना बह जाते हैं. स्वामी के बारे में बात करते करते वो तो स्वामी का स्टोरीज तो एंड होता ही नहीं है, कुछ ना कुछ होता रहता है. And I can go on talking about him all through my life. So I think my leadership colleague friends के लिए, I think what's important, what I learned through Swami's journey was ambition meeting purpose. Passion meeting compassion. That is more important. That we all aspire to have be the director, chairman, this, that. We have to define the purpose of this. what is that position you want and why do you want that position? What is the purpose of it? And I firmly believe today in positions that I'm sitting, whether it is with the World Economic Forum, World Health Organization, United Nations, blah, 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 it doesn't matter. I think for me, above all of this is that divine leader who guides my leadership to tell me where I'm required at which instance, and that is more important than anything else. So, what Swami told me was, when US looked at whether they are one of the best health systems, they found out that doctor was the third leading cause of death. You see, there are 12,000 unnecessary surgeries, 7,000 medication errors, almost 225,000 deaths every year happens in US because of medical reasons. तो स्वामी ने मुझे एक बहुत ही अच्छा बात कहा था कि हेल्थ केयर और मेडिकल केयर में एक फर्क है कि एक अगर आरोग्यपूर्वक समाज बनाना है तो उसमें बीमारी कम, अस्पताल कम और डॉक्टर कम होने चाहिए. If you want a healthy society, it should have less doctors, less illnesses, and less hospitals. Then you are calling it as a healthy society. Today you are not building a healthy society. You as a doctor are creating more illnesses. So he was one of the first guru, my main motivation to tell me that as an oncologist, your work is small, but as a person who's going to work in prevention, your work will be much more. So that's how I got inducted into being a surgeon. He said that if you could prevent things like tobacco, which cause these cancers, you can save more lives than you being a surgeon. So I started working on public health. मैं public health में बहुत काम किया स्वामी के प्रेरणा की वजह से. And he said treat the root cause, not just the effect. He said treat the root cause. तो उसका कारण को भी ट्रीट करो. जस्ट सिर्फ यानी कि अगर आपको बुखार है बट बुखार का कारण मलेरिया है तो आप सिर्फ बुखार को ट्रीट करेंगे, डोलो से तो फायदा नहीं. So that is what Swami effectively said to me, and I'm today doing all of this work every day. ये सब मेरे फोटोज में आपको दिखाना नहीं चाहता हूँ, बट रोज हमारा काम था. तो मैंने स्वामी के विलेजेस में बोवीपल्लिया, तारबनाली, माधवपनाली में मैंने एजुकेशन शुरू किया. मंदिर के बाहर बैठ के मैं डी एडिक्शन काम शुरू किया ताकि विमेन लोगों को विलेजेस में मेन पी के मर्द पी के औरत से पैसा लेके उसको जुए में शराब में डालता था. These are the kind of things we were spending time in villages doing de-addiction for. And I'm just going to skip most of these slides, but tell you that I'm sorry, I'm just going to skip some of these slides. But what importantly Swami got me, I was last month, this is an old invitation, but last month I was there in London with Mr. Michael Bloomberg, who's the United Nations ambassador, Dr. Tedros' team, the WHO Director General, Sadiq Khan, the Mayor of London. And I was sitting to myself and thinking there, when I was sitting in London, taking an award for India. I'll share today's WHO news on how Bangalore has been one of the model cities for policies. And when I was called to US to receive the global award for my efforts in control and tobacco control from the United Nations, from the WHO partners, from the President's office experts, and from various global bodies, it was such a beautiful moment, and I dedicate that to Swami, because it is that leadership that actually brought out the entire whole story. So I'm going to end with one or two points. I'm just going to talk about my invention home, and that's one thing that I wanted to share with you, that I've invented this voice machine based on Swami's direction. And I'm just going to play one small video. Shubha, tell me if it's audible to them or not.
Yes, sir.
कि मैं वो वॉल्यूम से ही बात कर रहा हूँ. सब लोग आवाज
Sir, the video has stopped, I think, because we're not able to hear anything anymore.
Yeah, that's okay. So I think Yeah, sorry. So I think the main thing in this was about talking about the invention and how today thousands of people are speaking with this machine. It's granted the US patent, and last couple of months now I've worked on about 18 patents. I have various inventions in cancer drugs and various other inventions. And a couple of months back, the World Intellectual Property Organization had made me the personality of the month. I'm going to share this small video with you. Tell me if it is audible, for which History Channel gifted me about my invention. And it's again.
So it's not audible. It's not audible.
Okay, I'm just going to see if I can. Tell me if it's audible now.
No, sir, it's not. Only in the first frame we hear some sound. After that, it's not audible.
That's okay. That's okay. You can just see the subtitles.
You can see this on YouTube also. Is there? We'll share the link.
So I think one of the things that I wanted to share with this for you all was about talking about how unlikely collaborations are required. So this is an American bestseller called Do Better with Less on frugal innovations, where they've dedicated one chapter on me and on the philosophies. And I've spoken a lot on the Swami's way of approach to innovations. And this has been a case study that has been studied now by Harvard, and of late I've invented a lot of things on Swami's principles. It's a whole lot of story to separately tell, but Swami talked to me on quantum physics, on research. I've just recently got a grant on that with Cambridge University, and I spent the time under the Newton's tree there, receiving that award, actually looking at building some new generation technologies with Cambridge. But in all of this journey, I think what I want to tell you all is all of this was spoken to me by Swami. I have nothing original to offer in this. He used to come talk to me, tell me some of these theories. Now we have started the International Federation of Inventors Association, Bharat, with Prime Minister's office, which is to support Indian inventions. And we are going to be fast tracking innovations in India with this, which is going to be about create in India. That everything that we're going to have is make in India's version 2.0, which is going to be created here. Every component, everything will be created here. And I've given a nice podcast on this. You all can search for this, called Ignorance is Power. And this is all on Swami's principle, because in front of Swami, knowledge is the problem. See, you go with knowledge. So I converted it into a nice talk called Ignorance is Power. And Swami has asked me to write 3 books. One of them is the title of this particular presentation, which I've yet to complete. The first one I've completed, called Beyond Dome. I've shared that with the soft copy of it. Anybody interested is happy to use this. So Swami gave me this title called Beyond Dome, the 4th syllable. because he said the fourth syllable in Om was silence. And he says that is the true way to know Swami. It is not through A, U and Am, because that is creation, sustenance and annihilation, which is what we are all stuck with. But the true essence of Swami comes in the fourth syllable, And I think I'm going to close with 2 points. I think, like Krishna said, no, I broke my promise. Every time we keep hearing about Swami and said, why did Swami go away early? The very beautiful thing about why Krishna says he broke his promise to Bhishma, He says one was to motivate Arjuna, second was to actually keep up the Bhakta's promise. Bhishma had prayed to him that he's going to force him to take up weapons. So he thought, how could I not have my Bhakta give his request given to him? So Swami's ways, I think I'm going to end with this note to tell you that, my friends, an atheist is not a person who does not believe in God. He's a person who does not listen to his inner voice, his conscious. And that is what Swami told me. He says, I am your inner voice, I am your conscious, and listen to me. You don't have to go anywhere outside. And your life has to be my message. So now in leadership, I think I would leave you with this note to say that leaving all other communications, go inside and ask him, what's the purpose of your life? What is this leadership program going to give you? And how are you going to drive this leadership for the next particular community, society, country, world? I don't know what he has in plans for you all, but make your life his message and find it. I don't know how many of you all have heard about this Ikigai principle. It's a Japanese principle, but I feel it connects a lot with what Swami talks to us about. That your mission is what you love, and what the world needs is your mission. What the world needs and what you get paid for is your vocation. What you get paid for and what you're good at is your profession. And what you're good at and what you love is your passion. But at the center of it is Swami. In the central core of it is that Bhagwan sitting between you. You call him Ikigai, you call him anything. It is Swami sitting in the middle of your passion, mission, vocation, and profession. And your leadership will emerge from there. It will emerge from that central fold. Om Sairam, thank you very much. Again, apologies if I've taken a little bit more time. I look forward to a more interactive session now in this.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I think we'll take a couple of questions, if okay with you, sir. Quickly, yes, sir. So I quickly request brothers and sisters to please raise your hands. We'll quickly go for questions. Yeah, Brother yourself. Brother
Sorry, I can't hear.
please unmute yourself. Brother Varun, are they able to unmute themselves?
Sairam, sir.
Sairam.
Yes, ma'am. Sairam. Sir, as you have refuologist, sir, how should we can refer ourselves or will refer our works to Swami so that he will do for us? How will you guide for that?
See, the first thing he told me was, after you have completely done your best within your entire capacity, then see, please don't misunderstand his words. He never said to me that without doing your work, refer it to me. He said, I sit in you as Sakshat Bhagwan himself. So do your complete best to him. Your complete effort is most important. And once you have completed your effort and you feel after this, there is nothing more to do. At that point in time, taking Bhagwan's help, also refer it to him. That does not mean to say that you don't involve him in the beginning. My point is, involve him through Namasmarana, through prayer in the beginning. But after putting your entire sincere effort, even after that, if you feel that you cannot achieve that goal or find it difficult, please refer it to him to take over that particular initiative, and he will guide you.
Thank you, sir. Brother Arun, can you please unmute yourself quickly? Brother Arun? Yeah, please ask your question.
Yeah, Sairam, sir. So you have told that Swami has guided you in many ways and in many forms. Like, is there any instances like Swami has told something and you have misunderstood it? Because the people like us, like you, we will be expecting the answers, like we will be expecting yes or no from Swami. But if Swami says some other answer, we might misunderstood sometime. So, and we would take it in a wrong way. So, is there any instances like you also have faced this situation, and how did you find that you are going in a wrong way, but Swami has told you another way?
You know, my slide which I told about the mystery of four, where it's a monologue. So Swami often says that I think the more you talk, the less the less you listen. I think my learning from his thing was the more you talk, the less you listen to him. The more you become silent and the more you listen to him, you will realize that every single place. Swami has often said that in the garbha of the question lies the answer. The more, so the master appears when the disciple is ready. The answer appears when the question is ready. So your question has to be refined. You have to refine the question so well. In this, every single part he will have a signboard. I can assure you with 100% guarantee that every single part of it there will be a signboard when you go wrong, because you will know he will keep talking to you from inside. I have never found I cannot say 0.00 like to the last decimal 1% doubt I have on that. So ask yourself, go inside. But the problem is the noise that is created in the mind. And I want to just complete with one more thing to you. Remember, my friend, we have acquired through education knowledge. That knowledge does not give you intelligence, and the intelligence does not give you wisdom. However, with Swami's grace, if you are able to convert that intelligence and use it with wisdom, you will then be able to use your instinct and above that your intuition. Now, how many layers have I put in this? From education, knowledge, intellect, wisdom, then after that instinct, intuition. So that is the ladder to Swami. So now where are you in this ladder is what you have to find out, and based on that ladder he's going to talk to you.
Thank you, sir. Sairam.
Thank you, sir. Sister Anuradha from Maharashtra East, please unmute yourself.
Sairam, sir. It was
Sairam,
a very nice session. My question may be a little away from the topic, but I really cannot help myself than willingly ask. You said you weren't the believer of Swami, or you never worshipped him before, though your parents and family were devotees of Swami. What was that one life-changing moment that made you his devotee, or the otherwise whatever the views that you have? I don't want to call it, give it a phrase that you are a devotee, or everybody has their own beliefs. So what was that one life-changing moment for you, sir?
So I'll give you quickly 2 points on this. Number one, what Swami said was that if you want to really get closer to him, either fully believe in him or fully challenge him and disregard him. Say that he doesn't exist. He'll come to you. Okay. This is the fastest way I found that. I went the other path, saying that no, I don't believe in him. He has to prove himself to me. He'll prove it to you. Now, in this particular thing, but that middle path he doesn't do. That means if you half believe, half don't believe, that is what sometimes fence-sitters do. That means you have half belief in him. So either you fully surrender to him and say that you are fully with him, or you say that no, I don't believe in him at all, and I don't think that he is Bhagwan is what he is. He'll come to you very fast. So for me, it happened by the other path, saying that I don't believe in him. So when I got fully defeated in Tata and I said that there is no more hope, my mother had requested me to go to Dharmakshetra. Long story cut short, but I was sitting at Dharmakshetra because that day the meeting got cancelled. So I was at Andheri bus stand and Dharmakshetra was next door. So I went to Dharmakshetra, sat in an entire empty hall alone when Mr. Nath came to walk towards me. And Nath sir asked me, Vishal, what are you doing here and who are you? And then I told him my story that I'm wanting to do oncology. I've been waiting for last 8 days. I've not got an interview chance from Tata. I was a little frustrated. He took my CV, kept it in front of Swami, and he said, let Swami guide you. I said, okay. Anyway, I was editing my CV, but for mother's sake, I went to Dharmakshetra. When I came back that night, Swami came in my dream. That was my first dream of Swami. Swami told me, after your work is done, donate a child, adopt a child. That was the first dream I had of Swami, that Swami told me. And the next day when I went in, one of the directors of the hospital interviewed me and asked me, would you like to join today or tomorrow? And I said, sir, I have only 2 pairs of clothes I've come to Mumbai with. He said, you are not going to require more than that because we will give you clothes in the OT. You will not come out of it at all. Why do you need more clothes? So that was my first instance of Swami. So I'm telling you, there are 2 paths to go to him, the path of belief and the path of non-belief. If you look at Viveka Chudamani and Shankaracharya, he has talked about the path of non-self. So you say, no, I don't agree with him. So he will come to you. Or you say, I fully agree with him, I surrender with him, he'll come to you. The querying mind, the incomplete half faith is the one that troubles us. I hope that answers it.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Sairam, sir.
So we'll take one final question from Sister Revati. It's the final question for the day. Sister Revati, please unmute yourself.
Loving Sairam, sir, thank you so much for this wonderful session. Actually, I don't know I should ask this or not, but last week only, one of my subordinate who works with me, he took leave and he was about to work over the weekend. That also he could not do. So I just checked what happened. He said like some reports I have to do a follow-up of his mother. Then I just called him and I said, oh, brother, you said you will be starting mid of the day, but what happened? Then he just said it's like PET scan, sister, almost 4th stage of my mother. So almost goosebumps came and I was like, oh my God, it's been 6 months I'm working with him. And he said 6 months before it got diagnosed, but his mother is not aware of. He and his brother knows, and I just prayed to Swami and I was just thinking, will I get any opportunity to help him? So I really don't know, sir, but I'm just thinking if I can help him by some way by connecting with you, that will be really helpful, sir.
The first thing that I can help you is with, I'll send a link of my TED talk on Swami's experiences, which you should make him listen to, because that's a TED talk, that's an official TED talk that I gave about all my experiences and about these miracles what Swami made for cancer patients through some of these things. Just give him that has a lot of answers, and then the rest of it through Shubda, whatever help I can be of, I'll be happy to assist.
Sure, sir, sure. I will do that, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you for this opportunity, sister.
Sairam, sir, thank you very much for answering all questions. I now call upon Professor Dr. Yoginder Verma to say a few words. Professor Verma is the convener of the Hindi batch of Sri Sathya Sai National Leadership Program for Self-Transformation, and he is also the former Vice Chancellor of Himachal Pradesh Central University. I invite Professor Verma, sir, to please come and say a few words.
Om Shri Sairam, my pranams at the lotus feet. We had a very good, excellent talk by Dr. Vishal Rao. Actually, his experiences are the story of divinity. When I was listening to him, actually I was transported to Bhagwan's abode, where everything happens with his will. And it is his will that today Dr. Vishal Rao, who shared his experiences, incredible experiences. Actually, when we leave Bhagwan takes over. Actually, there is one small story that Narayana reclining on Sheshnag and Mata Lakshmi doing Path Seva. She asked Bhagwan, without notice, you get up and you start running. Where do you go? Then Narayana told that, well, my bhaktas call and then I immediately go. I have to attend them. They are whatever are the problems, I solve them. And meanwhile, again he got up and started running. So he said that I am going because I have got a call. He goes about 100 feet and come back. Lakshmi asked Bhagwan, why you have come back? Then he said, well, my devotee was in trouble. He called me. I started running, but then he himself started quarreling with the other person. So he has himself taken the responsibility. So I have come back. So here is the one example of Dr. Vishal. One thing which I learned, that your all intuition, all innovation is not human, it is divine. So the experiences which he has shared and all credit he has given to Bhagwan is very true. Similarly, we who are in NLP, now we are chosen person where Bhagwan is sharing his own story through devotees like Dr. Vishal, who has unshakable faith. I think that's very important. He told that either you have faith or you do not have a faith. So I was just thinking when he says that you don't have a faith, even then Bhagwan will come. Actually, when you say you don't have a faith, it means that you don't have a faith in external power, but you believe yourself. You believe yourself. And that comes to same thing. That means you believe in the divinity within. So it was an excellent session. I think it could have continued for more to hours. Even then, perhaps there are many experiences, many innovations, and many recognitions which have come to Dr. Vishal. It is all Bhagwan's grace. Let us pray, connect ourselves with Bhagwan, always keep him on our right side. Let us always talk to him, always share our problems. Actually, he knows our problems, but even sharing, it further intensify our faith. So thank you very much, sir. It was excellent, and I hope our participants, because I can see their faces, they are really benefited. Thank you very much. Sairam.
Sairam, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Sairam. I now invite Dr. Gopi Krishna Pritla, sir, the convener of the Sri Sathya Sai National Leadership Program, to say a few words, please.
Sairam, मैं इंग्लिश टीम का कन्वीनर हूँ, बट हिंदी में बोलूँगा फॉर अ चेंज. तो पहली बात यह है कि थैंक यू डॉक्टर विशाल राव. आपने जो आज जो बात बताई है हम लोगों को, हम सारे लोग जो 400 लोग यहाँ पे उपस्थित है, एक इम्पॉर्टेंट पॉइंट जो मैंने प्रेम दिल से स्वीकार किया है, आपने कहा है लीडरशिप इज रियलाइजिंग हु द सुप्रीम लीडर इज. दिस इज सच ए ब्यूटीफुल कोटेशन दैट यू सेड. आपने ये भी कहा है कि फेथ के बारे में बताया कि आपके फेथ में प्रश्न भी आए थे कि भाई ये फेथ किस तरह होता है. स्वामी ने एक बार एक संभाषण में बताए थे कि फेथ या 0% होता है या 100% होता है, बीच में नहीं होता है. Faith is actually 0 or it is 100. And the question that this young lady asked, how could you actually come to that constant, integrated awareness of having Swami's faith 100%? I think it is Swami's miracle, and it is his leela that he has chosen you as an instrument. और ये भी साफ मैं कह सकता हूँ कि स्वामी जब अपने इंस्ट्रूमेंट को चुनते हैं, वो चुन के चुनते हैं. और मेडिकल फील्ड में आप कह रहे हैं कि आप टोबैको के बारे में ये कैंपेन्स करना ज्यादा पसंद करते हैं, ऑन्कोलॉजी सर्जरी से ज्यादा, बट मेरे ख्याल से स्वामी आपके संगत दोनों करवाना चाहते हैं. सो यू आर ए opening batsman, also a tail ender batsman. You're doing both the things, and that is the beauty of Swami's Leela. And the greatest thing is you have brought down the practical aapka jo experience hai. This is what is needed to the team here. An accomplished doctor, who has won laurels for the country, who has won laurels for his own work in the field that he's specialized. But how practically you have आपने ये सारा जो आपने सीखा है, सारा आपने जो अचीव किया है, you are actually offering it to the divine lotus feet of Swami. That is the most, whether it is Bhagavan Sri Sat Sai Baba or Venkateshwara Swami or whichever Lord or God whom you think or your own mother, you're offering it as a seva. And that is the most important concept. And I'm happy that you brought out all these concepts, and these youngsters have taken a great message today. In fact, I leave the youngsters, I myself have, you have reaffirmed so many things back to me by saying that, yes, Karne wala Bhagwan hai, he is the doer. We are only merely an instrument in his divine hands. And we are so happy that Swami has chosen such a beautiful instrument. And that is the reason, we didn't give you any title, even if you had seen the launch of our video that we did. Normally we do videos of different sorts, but today's video was done only to bring in the concept of Om. You're bringing voice to the voiceless. And what a better thing can actually people love you for. And I think this entire team of NLP here congratulate you. We pray to Swami to bless you abundantly, that you do more and more research and do much, much more that Swami wants you to do, and be a very worthy instrument in the years to come. Jai Sairam, and thank you so much, Dr. Vishal, once again. Sairam.
Sairam.
Sairam, sir, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I now, on behalf of everybody, the entire National Leadership Program family, I thank Sir Dr. Vishal Rao for all the wonderful insights that you've shared with us today. Your talk was not just impactful, but it was immensely inspirational. और हम सब लोगों ने आपके, जैसे कि अभी सर ने बताया, बहुत प्रैक्टिकली आपने जिस तरीके से शेयर किया है एक एक आपकी लर्निंग्स और एक्सपीरियंसेस जिंदगी के, आई थिंक हम सब उससे कुछ ना कुछ सीख सकते हैं और लंबे समय तक हम लोग उसको याद रखेंगे और बार बार उन लेसन्स पे हम लोग वापस आएंगे. जैसा आपने बताया कि कैंसर को हील करना है, उसको फाइट नहीं करना है. हमारे आसपास, हमारे मन में कैंसर रूपी बहुत अलग अलग एलिमेंट्स हैं जिनसे हम हर वक्त हम इनसे परेशान रहते हैं. एंड बहुत बड़ा एक लेसन हमको दिया है दैट वी हैव टू लर्न टू कोएग्जिस्ट विद इट एंड नॉट फाइट विद इट, एंड वी हैव टू नेल ऑल प्रॉब्लम्स दिस साई वे. And we're very thankful to you for sharing all these lessons with us. And you have exemplified how by linking ambition with purpose and by being, pursuing passion with compassion, one can offer everything at the divine lotus feet of Swami and win laurels for the country and bring happiness and healing and health everywhere. So we're very thankful to you for that, sir. And we look forward to many more such satsangs, many more such interactions with you, sir. Thank you once again for the wonderful lessons that you shared tonight.
Thank you. Sairam.
I would also like to thank our conveners, Professor Verma and Dr. Gopi, sir, for bringing yet another luminary in this satsang. आप लोगों के मेहनत की वजह से सर, आप लोगों के एफर्ट्स की वजह से हम सब लोगों को मौका मिलता है कि हम ऐसे महानुभावों के सत्संग से इतना कुछ सीख सकें. उसके लिए we are very, very thankful to you, sir. I would also like to thank Brother Prashant for moderating and starting this session with so much prompt and poise. Thank you very much, brother. A huge chunk of gratitude would go to the IT team for all the efforts they've put in for bringing out such wonderful videos to us. हम सब इतने amazing videos को देख के अचंभित हैं, आश्चर्यचकित हैं और खुश हैं. और we're very thankful to you for sharing such wonderful visuals with us. Without the constant support of the IT team, this session would not have been a smooth sail. So a huge round of applause and gratitude to the IT team as well. And dear brothers and sisters and all the volunteers of the organizing team, आपके presence और patience और participation के बगैर ये session, ये सत्संग successful नहीं होता. इसलिए आप सबको भी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. Offering everything that we have learned today, that we have earned today at the lotus feet of beloved Bhagwan and seeking his divine permission, we now bring this session to an end. May you all have a wonderful week, and we'll meet very soon in the next satsang. Till the time, over to Brother Varun for the Shanti Wisdom. Thank you. Jai Sairam.
Thank you, Arjun, also for bringing Dr. Vishal Rao on board here. Arjun, I should thank you.
समस्त लोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु शांति शांति शांति। जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय।